Hi there, Malcolm here, and thank you for joining me on this video. It's good to see you. And what I'd like to talk about on this video is to broach the subject of quantum physics. The reason why I want to bring this up is because it's an established scientific field now that's been around since around the 1950s with Max Planck, and what has been found through quantum physics is that everything around us is vibrating. Now, the easiest way to sort of like explain this in one way is the fact that radio waves are a vibration which we're used to, which we're familiar with, but at one time nobody knew about them. But what we have is different frequencies that we're familiar with, and that when we tune into that particular frequency that they're broadcasting on, then we can hear the music or dialogue that's being broadcast. Now, without the ability to tune into that, then we can't hear it. I mean, there's radio waves going all around me now, but I can't hear them because I physically don't have the ability or capability to listen to them or tune into them as I am. I need a radio or something to do that. In the same way that television, there is another transmission that is sent as a frequency, and what happens is that your television has the facility to convert that not only into sound but also into a picture as well. Now, radio and television we're familiar with, and we just accept them for what they are, but that is all around us now, and we've got the waves going in the air all around us, all the different channels, all the different radio stations. Now, in a similar way, what has been found is that as scientists have looked into what we understand to be an atom, which is built up of a proton and a nucleus, and we've got all the different parts that make that up, they've gone even further into that. Because what they found is that it's just some spheres swirling around in a space, and then when they've gone down even further, they've sort of like taken one bit out and looked at that, and that looks similar. It has sort of like a base with more stuff just vibrating and moving around a central part, and as you go in further, all you have is just space with our current understanding. There is nothing. And what has been found is that everything around us, including ourselves, are working at a high vibrational level to such an extent that we find things to be solid. Now, what does that actually mean in real terms? Well, you see, the way I perceive things is different to how you perceive things, and everybody in the world perceives things in a different way, but also the same. It's a strange phenomenon. You have the situation where some people are colourblind, where they just can't see certain colours, and also it's interesting that there are other colours that we can't see. We see a particular spectrum. I mean, a typical example of the colours we can see typically is the rainbow, but there are other colours above and below that which our eyes just aren't sensitive enough to see. We need to use electronics to see that they exist, but not exactly how they look, because our eyes just can't deal with those frequencies. In the same way that sound, we can only hear to a certain extent, and dogs can hear and pick up louder ones. And when we're younger we can pick up higher frequencies, but our hearing for some reason starts to dull, and so the frequency range that we can hear tends to reduce. Supermarkets, for example, they have issues with kids hanging around and causing a nuisance. They can actually play something that adults can't hear, but it's really annoying to the younger ear. But again, this is something that has been discovered, and it's all to do with vibrations. Now, getting down to the really, really fine part of our existence, we are down to what's known as quarks. And it's difficult to get your mind around the fact that we are in what we might call a hologram or an illusion. Because the other thing is that just the other day I was sort of like remembered about the fact that when I was at school I was told how we actually see, and we actually invert, as in turn around where it is that we see, similar to what a camera does. A camera, when it is taking what's in the outside world, with the lens it actually turns it upside down. And we do the same thing with our eyes, but our brain makes us think that we're seeing it the right way up. So if our brain is turning things around, and also we know about optical illusions, where the eye can be tricked. So if that's the case, is what you're seeing really there? What you're seeing? Well, no. It's a construct, and it's built up using our paradigm. Now, what's a paradigm? A paradigm is what we've absorbed to give us the understanding that we have. You see, when we were little, we got all sorts of information, even from inside the womb, from our mothers, our fathers, and the environment around us. The thing is, we didn't have any mechanisms or means or understanding to sort of like put that into context. And so when we were born with already an understanding of our environment. But then, as we were taking in what we were seeing, it was being stored in here, but we didn't have the understanding. And then as it built up, well, we were trying our best to create and understand something which we didn't understand. And so the view that we have now has literally been built up initially on what we tried to understand in the first 5 to 6 years, and this has been proven scientifically that that is our main time in our lives that make us who we are today. But we can do something about it. If you're not happy with where you are now, you can change your environment and your reality. Now, what you need to take into consideration is that for a long time now we have understood that there are two parts to the mind. There is the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And what I'm going to do in the next video is go into more detail as to what the two different parts are, and there are in some understandings a third part, and it's as you understand these parts that you can learn to do something about it. So I've just wanted to give sort of like a general overview in this video, but in the next one and the following ones we're going to be going into some detail with regards to our surroundings, our reality, and what's about us, because it's only when you sort of like get an understanding of what we are experiencing that you can do something about it. So until the next time, thanks again for listening and watching. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and also I believe in you. Even though I've never met you, I know you can change things for your betterment and also those around you, and it's never too late to do it. So be encouraged. You can do something, and I'm going to help you. Speak to you soon. Bye.